Nashville continues to suffer from people who are being arrested for terrible crimes, released for low or no bond, and then getting out and doing something worse. This is Jamian Taylor, a busy man this spring. He is charged with the following 4 crimes. He threatened to kill a worker at the Nashville Rescue Mission on March 21st. Then on April 4th, he assaulted a woman in an elevator trying to kiss her. She got away, but he was arrested for false imprisonment and assault. No big deal for night court magistrate John Manson, who set his bail at just $3,000. So he gets out for $300. Then 10 days later, he's breaking into cars at Beaman Toyota. This time, night court magistrate Jerice Glanton sets his bond at $100. So he gets out for $10. Then 2 weeks later, he follows, chases, and terrifies a 15-year-old girl walking home from the bus from MLK Magnet High School. Verna Wyatt from Tennessee Voices for Victims.
I can't even imagine the terror that that young girl still has, because she knows by the grace of God, he didn't get hold of me.
Unfortunately, Mr. Taylor isn't an exception. He's the rule. One of the endless examples of low bond leading to high terror. Lou Wilbanks, Nashville activist who runs a popular social media site.
They're turning around and getting right back out and doing the same stuff. And I mean, literally days after they were released. And that is frustrating. For one, it's concerning and scary.
And who does? Even Nashville Chief of Police John Drake says it's unacceptable. Some of his officers have arrested people on consecutive days.
And when the chief of police goes on television and says the criminal justice system is failing the people, I mean, it scared me, and just seeing his face, and that's got to be frustrating if they're doing their job and other people aren't.
Majority Leader in the State House, William Lamberth.
My constituents do not feel safe knowing that a person's going to be arrested 2, 3, 4, 5 times and not be held accountable by any court system. And so all they're asking is that for repeat violent felons, hold them accountable, keep us safe. Make sure that when our children are going to school or we're headed to the grocery store or church, that we don't have to worry about some violent felon gunning one of our friends or loved ones down, that we know there's going to be held accountable.
There are 5 big changes coming July 1st. Judges are ordered by law to consider public safety as the #1 consideration for bond, and they can no longer consider poverty as a reason to lower or remove bond from someone charged with a serious crime. If a criminal commits 6 misdemeanors in a short period of time, it's a felony. So now that guy that keeps breaking into cars every night will actually face jail time. And if an officer stops someone who is in violation of their bond conditions, they can arrest them on the spot. Can you believe they couldn't do that before? Here's the scenario. Dennis Ferrier is out on bond with the condition he can't have a firearm. Whoops, I'm caught, right? Oh no. Policeman can't arrest me. He has to send a note to the DA's office, and then they request a hearing in court, maybe in a couple weeks, to discuss whether or not to revoke my bond. That changes July 1st, along with a new law where you don't get released because you are mentally incompetent. This after the tragic shooting of Jillian Ludwig. Some believe this all began because of the backlog of criminal cases that happened during COVID.
And so what the word out there on the street is on many criminals is that they're not going to be held accountable, that they're going to be continue to get low bonds, continue to let out, continue to commit crime after crime, and there's no accountability. Well, I have some bad news for them, because come July 1, when all these bills go into effect, there's going to be a reckoning. And many of those folks that are committing crimes over and over and over again, they're going to go to jail and they're going to stay there, and they're not going to come out for a long time.
These are huge changes. We will see if they are big enough to actually change the tragic consequences that are changing lives in our community forever. I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.